Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Boy and the Sound of Slippers Across the Floor. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Every morning in our house begins the same way. Not with an alarm clock, not with sunlight pushing through the curtains, but with a sound. SHFF, SHFF, SHFF. The soft dragging of slippers across the tiled floor. It is a sound so ordinary that most people would never notice it. But for Boy, my dog, that sound is the beginning of the world. Boy knows that sound better than he knows his own name. Long before I appear at the doorway, before my sleepy eyes can even focus, Boy is already awake. His ears twitch first, then his tail begins a slow, hopeful wag. He lifts his head from the cool floor, listening carefully, as if the sound might disappear if he doesn't pay enough attention. The slippers are old. One heel is slightly worn down, and they never slide smoothly. They scrape and drag, especially when I'm tired or distracted. But to Boy, that dragging sound means only one thing. I am awake, and the day can finally begin. He doesn't bark. He never does in the mornings. Instead, he stretches his front legs forward, pushing his chest low to the ground, then arches his back in a long, exaggerated stretch that looks almost theatrical. His nails click softly as he stands, and he waits, always waits, until the sound of the slippers comes a little closer. When I step into the living room, Boy is already sitting. Not perfectly straight, not like a trained show dog, but close enough. His head tilts slightly to one side, his eyes wide and shining, as if he's asking the same question every morning. Is it really you? Is today real? I smile without thinking. Some days are heavy. Some days I wake up already tired of the world. But Boy doesn't know anything about deadlines, news, or worries. He only knows the sound of my slippers and the promise that sound carries. I shuffle toward the kitchen, and Boy follows at a respectful distance, his tail wagging gently. He never bumps into my legs. He never rushes ahead. It's as if he understands that this quiet moment belongs to both of us. The kettle goes on. The light through the window grows brighter. And Boy sits near my feet, watching every small movement, every step, every sound. The dragging slippers echo again and again, marking time, anchoring him to the present. In those moments, I realize something simple but powerful. To Boy, my presence is enough. I don't need to be cheerful. I don't need to be productive. I just need to exist and let my slippers drag across the floor. As the day unfolds, the sound of the slippers becomes a language of its own. Boy understands it in ways I never could. When the slippers move quickly, with sharp, impatient steps, Boy knows I'm in a hurry. He lifts his head, watches closely, but stays out of the way. When the slippers slow down, dragging longer, heavier, Boy senses that I'm tired. On those days, he lies closer than usual, his body warm against my ankle, offering comfort without asking for anything in return. In the afternoon, I work at my desk. The slippers drag back and forth between rooms, living room to kitchen, kitchen back to desk. Each pass is noted. Each sound is logged in Boy's quiet, invisible notebook of love. Sometimes I forget he's there. He blends into the background like furniture, like air. But Boy never forgets me. When the slippers stop for too long, he lifts his head. When they move again, his ears twitch. He is always listening. Once, I tried walking barefoot instead. No slippers. No sound. I barely made it 3 steps before Boy looked confused. He stood up, sniffed the floor, and searched my face, as if something important was missing. I laughed and slipped the slippers back on. SHFF, SHFF, SHFF. His tail wagged immediately. In the late afternoon, sunlight stretches across the floor in long golden stripes. The slippers pass through that light, cutting shadows that move and disappear. Boy follows the shadows with his eyes, then looks back at me, as if making sure I'm still real. When I sit on the couch, the slippers finally stop. This is Boy's favorite moment. He circles once, twice, then lies down beside me with a sigh so deep it feels like he's letting go of the entire day. His head rests near my feet, close to where the sound always begins. I reach down and scratch behind his ears. His eyes close halfway, his mouth relaxing into something that looks like a smile. There is no rush now, no dragging sound, just stillness. Visitors sometimes ask why Boy is so calm, why he doesn't demand attention or toys. I never know how to explain it properly. How do you tell someone that a dog has learned your rhythm so deeply that even the sound of your slippers is enough to make him feel safe? As evening comes, the slippers drag one last time toward the kitchen. Dinner for me, dinner for Boy. He waits patiently, never stepping forward until invited. He has learned that everything comes in its own time. And I have learned something too, though I don't always realize it right away. Life doesn't need to be loud to be meaningful. Sometimes, love sounds like slippers on the floor. At night, when the house grows quiet, I take off my slippers and place them by the door. Boy watches this ritual carefully. He knows it means the day is ending. He follows me to the bedroom, lies down near the bed, and sighs softly. Before sleep, I often think about how small our shared moments are. No grand adventures, no dramatic events, just a dog, a person, and the sound of slippers dragging across the floor. Yet within those moments is something deeply important. Boy teaches me that animals don't need perfection from us. They don't measure our success by achievements or status. They measure us by presence, consistency, and care. To Boy, the sound of slippers is not noise. It is reassurance. It says, "You are here. I am not alone." In today's fast-paced world, we often overlook the quiet connections that shape our lives. We rush through our days, chasing bigger goals, louder successes, and constant stimulation. But animals, especially dogs like Boy, remind us to slow down and notice what truly matters. The simple habits we repeat every day, the way we walk, the sounds we make, the routines we keep, can become sources of comfort for those who depend on us. Whether it's a pet, a family member, or even ourselves, stability creates safety. From Boy, we learn to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. We learn to be attentive, patient, and present. We learn that love does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, dragging its feet across the floor. To apply this lesson in our lives today, we can start by slowing down. Pay attention to the small rituals that make others feel secure. Be consistent in your kindness. Show up, even when you feel tired or ordinary. Treat animals not as background companions, but as living beings who feel deeply and love without conditions. When we build relationships based on trust, routine, and gentle care, we create a better world, not just for animals, but for ourselves. Like Boy listening for the sound of slippers, we all need something simple to remind us that we belong. And sometimes, being that reminder for someone else is the most meaningful thing we can do.